Yeah, let's jump into Midsommar one time. So, as I said, this is directed by Ari Aster, who is really
Yeah.
shaping up to be a true horror author, boy. So, yeah, Jordan Peele, you have some competition here right now, boy. And Jordan Peele, by the way, actually praised this film. He was one of the first people I saw,
It
well, actually online,
it
praise the film.
yeah. Yeah, it have the similar. Let us say there's a similar aesthetic to it.
Yes, oh
But
yes, it does.
what I'll say is that well, we'll talk about that, but yeah, we'll just say what the it have a similar vibe, and it's very, I don't know what to say, but the person I thinking of is a kind of Dario Argento kind of thing. That's
Oh,
what I'm
I see
thinking
what you
of.
mean. I see what you mean with
Right.
the use of color and the idea of dance incorporated and
Yeah.
weird music for one thing. Yeah, yeah. But
Right.
another show
But
in particular I was thinking about, but I'll mention it later on.
yeah, because that's the first thing I want to mention about this is the sound design. It's
OMFG, the
brilliant.
sound design this is
Yeah.
brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But we jumping ahead of ourselves, right? But we talk about sound design as well. So hey, I might as well talk about well, I'll do the synopsis for Midsummer, right? So
Yeah.
it begins with the character of Danny Addo, who is played by Florence Pugh. I believe that's how you pronounce her surname. And she is going through some emotional stress right now. Well, really, really, really traumatic stress, right? And this is due to something terrible that happens with her family. And when the reveal happens, and you
Yeah.
see how she reacts, it is one of the most like not gut punching, but just
Yeah, heart
like
wrenching.
I felt like yeah, heart wrenching moments in the entire movie, and it just kind of doesn't really bring the film to a halt, but it just kind of sets up exactly what you can expect in the movie. But um, oddly and wisely enough, the film kind of does a little twist here because you're thinking that the whole film is going to be centered on her loss now, about grief and whatnot. Because if you remember, from Hereditary with Tony Collette's character, it was
Yeah.
about her dealing with grief and whatnot. So you're thinking, wait, is this going to be like a similar theme? Is this what Ari is going to be focusing on? But
Right.
not really, actually. So what happens is that her boyfriend Christian, who's played by Jack Renner, last time I saw him was in that god awful Transformers: Age of Extinction.
As who? As the boyfriend?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, that
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Wasn't
he was,
shit
he
with
was.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, right? So we get the idea early on that he's not really happy in the relationship, right?
Right.
He doesn't like Danny's mood swings, and he wants to get out of it. His two friends in particular, one played by Will Poulter, who
Yeah.
plays Mark, the other one who's played by William Jackson Harper, who plays Josh, right? They're all classmates, right? They all go to college and stuff like that, right? But they all like, you need to get out of that relationship. But he's like, well, I wish I could, but
Yeah.
I
I
kind of had
think
to be.
I can't remember what they're doing with this a PhD program together in anthropology, I think.
I believe so. Yes, yes, yes,
Right.
yes. Yeah, yes, it's in anthropology. Yeah. So it's just like, well, he just sticking around. He want to be there, but at the same time, he doesn't want to now. So yeah,
Right.
he's kind of distant in the process, right? And in retrospect, she deserves better, but it's just she going through shit, right? But anyway, so Christian comes up to Danny one day and say, well, I'm going with my friends on this trip to Sweden. Actually, it's this the Swedish village out in the middle of nowhere. Actually, this Swedish friend of theirs, his name is Pelle, I believe that's his name. He can well basically it's his family. The village that he was born and raised. Well, he was raised in. Sorry, he wasn't born there.
Right.
He was an orphan, and well, these people took him in, and basically,
That's the thing. Are you sure? I ain't sure he was. Oh, so he was. I didn't really get that, follow that too clearly. But
yeah.
yeah, I
Well, he
think
just kind of mentioned that he was an
he wasn't
orphan.
from there originally. Okay.
Yeah, and his parents died. That's why he kept stressing to
Right.
Danny in one scene that his parents died, so he could relate. He could try to understand. And
Right.
early on, he tries to come off as what what I mean, like I understand where you're coming from. I've dealt with this before, but you just need to just come with me to this
Yeah.
place, and you'll feel a lot better, right? So they all go. You know what I mean?
I
They
thought that
all
led to a transition. It's like
yes.
a good transition scene to that. Like simple. I didn't think of it. I'm like, oh, that's really fast and
Yeah,
clever.
yeah, yeah. There's some excellent transitions. Some that just simple, so easy, and you like, as I said, Ricardo, it's like you wish both that you saw it coming, or that
Right.
you could do something like that there, like if you were to actually make a film. And some other
Yes.
transitions was like, wow, but like you put real thought into this, boy. Holy crap, look at
Yeah.
this. But this surrounds them, right? So they go to the village, and basically it's just a bunch of people, right? So it's not just family members of Pele, but other people who just live in the village, right? And they have this ceremony which they host, sorry, every 90 years, right? Well, a festival, a 9-day festival, right? And well, the Americans, and there's a English couple there too, a British couple actually. So they're just kind of enjoying the sights and sounds and everything. There's a lot of music, a lot of dancing and stuff going on. You're thinking, hey, everything's cool, and you know what? Hey, this is kind of weird, but all right, we're in a new place. Okay, let's try to absorb this new culture. But slowly but surely, things get darker and weirder and more
Yeah.
bizarre, more WTF, and then it just gets from bad to worse. And you see how that takes a toll on Danny and the other characters. And that's all I want to say about the plot here. So, Ricardo, what are your thoughts on Midsommar? Honest thoughts on Midsommar?
I had a lot of fun with this one. Yeah, it was surprisingly funny for what he was trying to do. But why it worked is it balanced the uncertainty and the uncertainty mixed with um the general creepiness and then the outright danger to just kind of like borderline hilarity in the sense of, well, oh, you're dealing with something that you should laugh at, but like genuinely dangerous and competent at the same time.
Yes.
And it kind of kind of illustrates a cult in that way. Like that's
Yeah.
how a cult is. Cults,
Exactly.
if you don't, if you're on the outside and you're watching a cult, funniest shit ever. If you're on the
Yeah.
inside, boy, you're the cut. That basically how it felt. Is that like any other cult, like Scientology or one of them things, you're watching that shit from the outside. Yeah, that's what they believe, and that's what they're doing. That's hilarious. And you can again, the characters who were involved and interested in this for anthropological reasons made a lot of sense being there. But boy, when you say they get wrapped up in that nonsense, boy, it's like goddamn.
Yeah, boy.
But
Yeah, boy.
they make it, and this dude he has a really good sense of two things: the sense of space and the sense of blocking. And
Yes, yes, yes. I totally agree. The
yeah,
blocking in this film is is
yeah.
is excellent. You know
And then
how
how
characters move from here and
right,
what's being shown in the shot and what's not being shown.
right.
He does that
What right?
perfectly.
What making it work now? What making it work now too is that the sensor and then just the sensor space and the shots, just these great composition shots,
Yes,
excellent
yes.
composition shots, right through, cutting into the movie, how the camera moving and it's just fantastic filmmaking. And yeah, it does remind me of Jordan Peele because it had a lot of us in this. You
Yeah,
know
but
how us,
may have elements of Get Out in it. Well,
right? I was
simply put,
thinking,
in a simple way, it's like, yeah, these characters are here, and of course, in your mind, you tell yourself, dude, this shit weird, get out, right? Literally, right?
yeah,
But it's like, no, it's not that easy to get out. That put yourself
yeah,
in their shoes. You're not just gonna
yeah.
ride out easy, and even if you try to, well, you know.
Well, I was thinking of the plot, just how the camera was moving and where it was and these kind of things. Because I'm
Okay,
trying to
okay.
not get too caught up in plot so much with this. Because I do think, and this is the old downside for this film, it does get a bit aimless coming on to the end. A little bit. It's in that third act especially. Um, because it at the end now it just kind of relies on the symbolism a little too much. And in some cases, quite literally, because it have a
Yeah,
lot of what the runes mean in the culture and the so on so forth. And clearly everything is a cover up because the government will come and just sort all this bullshit if anybody find out and these kind of things there.
right.
And it's very very well put together in that. But again, I didn't. I get what he was trying to go for, but I felt they could have made the arc a little clearer coming down to the end in terms of what the resolution is and where they're going with it. And I read online that it's a breakup movie. Somebody said that, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes real sense too.
Yeah, I actually read this up on Wikipedia. Do it's actually based on a real breakup that Ari Aster, who write and directed the film, went through.
Himself.
Like
Okay,
initially,
okay,
it was supposed to be a slasher flick, right? About
right,
this Kultner in Sweden,
right,
but Ari just wanted to make it more personal, more relatable. So it's like,
right.
well,
Okay,
yeah, this breakup kind of led to where they are and how they kind of dealing with this whole weird stuff going on now.
okay. All right, well that make a lot of sense because
Yeah,
somebody just said that and it was kind of in the back of my mind, and I kind of made the mistake of reading that before seeing the film. So I was just looking for that in a sense now. Like, okay. All right, well that
yeah.
makes sense.
But what I would say though, well, just to jump in, just to get a couple of gripes out the way, right? So for one thing, I kind of wish that they brought back that whole, well, not just about the breakup or the potential breakup between Danny and Christian, but also the grief that she was going through. It was more like, okay, ever so
Well,
often she would see something weird, she would start to spaz out, and then she would start to do these breathing exercises. Which, by the way, how they brought that into what all the weird stuff was going on
right,
was a stroke of genius in my opinion. The
right.
heavy breathing and stuff like that. Because I didn't
I,
pick up on it till like later on. It's like, oh wait, that's what it going at. The whole
yeah,
heavy breathing thing there. And that is
yeah.
how
Oh,
conveniently, it leads her from one point to the next. I don't want to spoil it, but when you see it happen, just take note of it. It's like, oh,
right.
okay. I love that.
No, it's right. No, the film was very symbolic in that sense now, in terms of like, well, it's about a breakup. I clearly tell that, like, it's her success and her moving on, and well, she is successful when she, if within the context of the movie, and
Yeah. It is.
so
She is.
I
She is.
got that arc playing itself out.
Yeah.
Because shot wise and when I was watching, I felt, it's one of those movies that just a little too free association coming down to the end, so I could totally see, like, some stuff was clear causal stuff. So we had like a very gross, okay, I saying this like straight up, it's a gross version of something that's already gross in my opinion. Sweat rice. So we get a grosser version of that.
Yeah.
Right. And we saw, like, visually, that what that was. Like, you could tell you're watching it and you're saying, all right, this, and I don't want to say it what it is, but this, you see everything is the same color, and then this something is another color. I was like, why that another color? And it causally, you know what it is, because they showed the shot before. They foreshadow all that shit,
Yes, they
before
did.
that
Yeah.
picture and all these kind of things, right? And I got where I was going for with that. The thing is, I wanted it to be a little clearer and more straightforward, especially with respect to Nani. I got where I was going for, but I felt they could have bounced it around a little better, with the pacing and wherever it is. But I don't know. I like, it's one of these things you're not sure how you'd tell it, or if you want it to be as subtle as, in that way now. And again, the comparison, that's why I compare it to Us and not Get Out, because Get Out was pretty straightforward into what was going on. Us, however, it's a little bit of a thinker, right?
Yes. Like this
You
film here. Like this film.
right,
It will leave you thinking about, or just
right,
trying to really analyze. And I know, just like Hereditary, there's gonna be
right.
tons of videos analyzing the hell out of this movie. But yeah,
No, but
that's kind of the point of this.
Hereditary also, I thought was straightforward in terms of like what going on. When all
It
was said
was.
and
It
done,
was. Yeah.
that was like, okay, I know what's going on. This also, well, kind of straightforward, but again, it's about the characters and the character motivation, what the character going on, what's going on with the character internally, let me see. And
Yes. You're right.
that was less clear. Especially, again, a lot of it had to do with the meaning and symbolism because of the runes, what the guy was describing with the book. And the
Yes.
runes mean something. And this is this, and that is that, and so on and so on. And we never really get into that. So now I expecting a ton of think pieces on YouTube that are going to say, oh, well, Norse mythology is going to tell you this and this and that and the other. And if this means something. So, I'll not be surprised to see some, hour-long video just explaining the runes alone in Midsommar now. Right?
Yeah,
I expected it on algorithm. You heard me over the phone, FBI and YouTube. Hi, FBI and YouTube. It's talking about that, and I expecting it soon. And that's the problem. That's the only issue with it. I look. I love filmmaking that does do that, but at the same time, it's still that is scratching in the back of your head that you want something a little more straightforward and clearer. And I wanted just a little more clearer. But look, that's a higher wire act that difficult to do. So the man do eating, and I can't be mad at that.
Yeah. Right. So second issue. I know this is gonna turn off. Even people who kind of know what to expect of the show, like yours truly. The pacing. It could be and you link to the film. It could be just a
Well, the
little bit.
second half in particular.
Yeah, it is a tad bit slow in some points, especially in the second act, as you said. And the show clocks in at almost 2.5 hours, and I felt that it could have just. It did. Okay. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I was invested. I was investing in everything that was going on, but I was kind of wondering. All right, are they gonna wrap up at this point?
No,
and that's when the third act kick is like, okay,
right.
All right, let me just stay on board.
Yeah, I wasn't too caught up in the plot per se because I was just looking at just shot compositions right through the film now.
Okay. Well, I was trying to balance both. Like, shots
Yeah.
and what the meaning of
Right.
the symbols
I,
supposed
I
to say.
was just I was just paying attention to the shots composition almost entirely for the film because
Okay,
everything was, oh, this look who's standing where and why and who, because remember it's supposed everything is a ritual, so that is relevant, right? I would
right.
argue. So I get the feeling as this man just basically casting a spell on our eyes now, and the whole thing was just like, who, where, what, who come into frame, why, and when, and you're trying to make sense of it either in a literal, direct, utilitarian sense, or in the ritualistic, sense of, well, what they're doing and when they're dancing or whatever it is, right? And it's always something they're doing because the whole thing is this I forget what it is exactly, but it's something that they had to do every 90 years or whatever it is, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this working though, and that's why it was working for my anthropological exercise, because that internal logic you see clicking now, but
Mhm.
you don't get it because you're not part of this, right? You're the outsider. And
Yes.
why it work is that the other characters, they themselves, because they don't get it, they start making all these little dumb mistakes, and it costed them, a lot.
Yeah, especially Mr. Will Poulter. That's all
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah,
And fucked up
he
stuff.
makes some really really bad calls, and
You
what
done
happens to
fucked up,
him?
right?
Yeah.
You know you done fucked up.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
But as far as gripes go, those are the only two. Those are minor for me. But I
Right.
know, like, for especially casual viewers, they will be let off. They will be turned off. Sorry, by the length of it and the pace.
Right.
But everything else with this show, loved it, loved it. From the direction, the camera movements in particular. There's one scene where it's just like the car where our character's in, and it just tilts. It does
All
this
right.
come
Yeah, I remember. That was a
180.
good shot. Yeah.
That is like one of the best shots I have seen
That's a
this
simple
year.
shot. Yeah.
And you're thinking, okay, so you see this gonna linger like this, no, and then you see the sign of the actual version.
Yeah.
Like, wow,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
simple shot. It
okay,
works. But
okay.
that's what I'm saying. It's such a 70 shot, because the thing is,
It is.
because
It
it's so
is.
felt so free association. Um, it's one of those, like these guys who used to be just kind of, you're not sure. A lot of filmmakers like that, where you can't tell the distinction between genius and bullshitter. And what they do well is that they put you in an idyllic setting, and then they just do any kind of bullshit with the camera, and they get away with it. And it's like, and then it is a Rorschach test from your perspective now. You're wondering, is that bullshit they try to hit you? But because the blocking and set design and thing is so well done, yeah, I want to put him on the side of genius over bullshitter. Um,
Yeah, I would
yeah,
put it there too. But yeah, just get back to the good stuff. Florence Pugh.
right,
Wow, like I feel bad that I skipped out on Fight with My Family because I mean,
right,
I
yeah,
know the
right. So
context
from
of
that
the
side,
the
yeah,
story, Paige and the wrestler and WWE shit. Like I know the stuff, right? But yeah, boy, she just comes through with that excellent performance. I would say it
yeah,
rivals that of Toni Collette in
right,
Hereditary. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, Ari just have a way of just making his leads just digging deep, just
yeah,
emotionally, boy, and this come with this, like, just these gut wrenching performances though.
yeah.
I don't completely I don't want to say support, but it's not like a character that I kind of root for, because she does kind of come off a little too much like, yeah, I'm sad, look at me, but I do understand deep down inside that she's just trying to cope. That's the thing, and it's not
Right.
easy, you know what I mean? So for
No,
some
no, she
people
was
she
a
might
real
come off
sad
as a
sack with this
pain,
movie.
like a little sad sack and whatnot, but
Yeah.
come on, but given what she found out about the family, how they died, is like, well, yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
No, no, yeah, yeah. She's a real sad sack in the movie. But no, the scene where what is my favorite part of the movie. It's supposed to be the horror part, but that was very funny to me, and the whole audience was laughing. But it works, eh? Well, I don't want to say what it is, but it's let us call it synchronized crying, right? And
yes.
yeah,
Here's the thing, I saw this in a movie, right? So this is just me being all highfalutin and artsy fartsy, right? So it's a movie
yeah,
called WR Mysteries of the Organism, right? So it's
right,
this Yugoslavian film, but they were like talking about Wilhelm Reich, and just the stuff
right,
that he was talking about in terms of, like, sex and just being human and all that kind of stuff, right? So there's one scene, so it has this kind of pseudo documentary style, right? Where it's like this doctor doing this sort of emotional therapy on this woman, right? Or something like that.
right.
And like the woman was just like crying and bawling, right? But the idea is that
Yeah,
you're relieving stress now. And when
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that scene in the trailer, I was like, I wonder if this is what they're getting at now. So when I saw it play out in the movie, I was like, this kind of is like that though. Where yes,
Yeah.
Danny's character is crying, like bawling, right? And everybody else around is going, like crying with her, you know what I mean? But it's childish and it's ridiculous. And yeah, when I saw
No,
it in
well,
theaters, people laughing to her, but it felt like that kind of weird, kind of
well, see that,
psycho
see that,
therapy thing going
yeah,
on there now.
that, I don't know. I try not to spoil the movie too much, but I'm saying that this is how cultures break you down now. It's something, again, when you have your faculties, when you have your faculties, this stuff is looks silly and you could just kind of, raise your eyebrow and be all snarky about it. But when you're under some serious stress and you get traumatic and you're not in the right place, boy, there's rapping, boy. And there's little techniques like that. It matter. It's work.
Yeah. They'll make you believe that what they are doing to you is helping
Exactly.
you, or they'll make you feel better.
Right.
They'll kind of sedate you in a weird kind of psychological way.
And I both emotionally and then literally, because a lot of the movie is that as well.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of characters being sedated. Well, we'll get to bring up that. Particularly through drugs, actually, which I didn't expect in the movie, but like early on, they kind of hint at, well, mushrooms and stuff like that. But if you look close, they kind of reveal that, well, yeah, majority of the stuff that they were fed or that they were drinking may have had some kind of hallucinogen in them. But it's not just for them to run around crazy, but it's just for them to be sedated, for them to do their stuff to them now.
Exactly. And what make it work too is that, well, it's had two great scenes with that. What cracked me up is when you see, if you're watching flowers up close, and you see the flowers like swelling.
Yes. That was one that was swelling and like constricting and stuff. I was watching. I was like, wait, I wonder if I'm the only one who notices this.
No, they make it work.
Yeah,
because the whole movie have a real drug trip vibe to everything. So is that, and then the song design, so you ain't sure what you're hearing, and they have little tripping and the song a little out at times and moving, and it flows so well. And that's when the man is like, that's when put the man in the category of genius.
And also to before I forget, the music for this too. Like, I didn't expect this music to have such a haunting score. But yes, it does. But the guy who did it is, well, his stage name, if you will, is called the Haxan Cloak. I believe Haxan. Yeah, Haxan is a reference to like this classic like 1920s horror flick, a vampire flick. Supernatural flick. I think it was. But I believe the guy's name is Bobby Krilk, Krlic. But yeah, the score that he did for this was great too. What I love about it, it wasn't just like minimalist and just creeping in the background. Sometimes it will just shoot up and just be louder, and like in two great scenes, actually emotionally powerful scenes, it kind of coincides with people screaming and crying. So this kind of overpowers you in a sense, you know what I mean? So just like with the visuals and what the characters do in the film, it's almost like the music itself kind of just overpowering you, so you just kind of become sedated and kind of become adjusted to all this madness now. And it's done to a great degree, especially in the end, though, where it's like just flat out insanity, and the music just shoots up. But it's just like, all right, I'm in hell right now, but you know what? This kind of makes sense. And this is another thing that I love about the film, though. There is a working sense of logic to what's going on. Like, I'm not like, I don't know, maybe I had to wait for the Blu-ray to come out with some director commentary, and then he could, the director, Ari, could talk about, well, I studied all these pagan cults from, back in the days, and I just pieced together certain things. But everything that happened, what these the customs and all that, felt authentic. It felt real. Like, it was to the point I was even worried, like, wait, this is a real like cult though in Sweden. You know what I mean? I know this is a Swedish American collaboration. So in the back of my mind, I was like, wait, I hope Sweden. Although they filmed it, I believe, in Hungary, right? Yes, because I stuck around for the credits. Like, dude, I watched this thing from start to end, to the very end. When you see the 824 logo show up, I stuck for the end of this thing. Not expecting like a stinger, but I just was just blown away by what I saw, right? But they shot this, I believe, in Hungary, but I was still wondering if Swedish people were to watch this film, if they'll be like kind of turned off by it. You know what I mean? But I mean, direction is masterful in my opinion. The music is dark. It gets creepier with every scene it's applied to. The performances were great. Even the side characters were great. You know what I mean? And some of them do go out in really really messed up ways. There's some really graphic deaths in this though. I don't want to reveal what happens. It has one involving a cliff. And
It's only right. There's only one or two that was super graphic, but everything else was like, oh well, it is okay. And
yeah.
mostly
But that scene in particular, which I don't want to spoil too much
that was,
about.
that,
Yeah,
that was pretty.
audiences was like, oh my god. Even I was like, close my mouth, like, oh my god.
No, the crowd I went to the late screen for this one, and
Right.
yeah, people was kind of silent for this one. It was graphic. It was like, ooh, like that was it.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So it's like that. It's only the big sequence at the end where the audience was really laughing and cracking up over.
Yes. That's what I want to talk about. And I don't know, in true European art film horror style, yes, you do have some transgressive scenes in this, right? One in particular, we'll go there as one of the most painfully awkward sex scenes you've ever seen in your life. Yeah. But when that play out, though, the audience I was with was laughing at it. I was just kind of laughing at it too, but I was like,
because
okay, you're realizing this thing. I mean, it's funny. Don't get me wrong, but this is just so bizarre. Like,
that's what I thought. Again, that's what I thought they would do. I thought it would be like genuinely creepy. I thought I was going to get like remember the end of oh gosh, shit, which movie now? Suspiria.
Oh, the witch. Oh, Suspiria.
No,
Suspiria.
Yeah. When she come to the side and then I don't want to say it is because to me that was just so.
I don't talk about when that caught people completely by surprise, boy. And we were just like,
and he watched and he still hide. That was funny too.
But when that moment happened, where we were like, what? Yeah, folks, there's so much moments in this movie where we'll be like, what? Like, what's this going on here? But it gradually gets worse and worse and worse, especially nearing to the end as well. By the end, I just kind of lost it. I was just like, all right, we in hell no. But what I would say, though, like character-wise, it really does feel like everybody kind of gets what they deserve at the very end, right? Oh, yes, one more thing before I get to rating. But the show that people really related this to is, of course, the original The Wicker Man, which is, I would say, a classic as far as folk horror films go, and cult films. It's one of my favorite cult films as well. But in that film, where the idea was, oh, well, it's this, Christian, or say a Catholic man, and his beliefs, his faith is being tested by all this weird pagan sexual stuff, right? And then in the end, it's just like, no, well, you were just chosen, to be sacrificed to the wicked man, blah, 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 right? It does have that sort of feel to it, especially near the end, as all I'll say. And it's kind of funny, too, because, well, in the remake, right, the infamous remake with Nicolas Cage, one of the big funny moments was, the bear suit. And they kind of do something with that here, but I don't want to spoil it. But
true.
There's a shot with that.
That's true.
Yeah,
Right.
There's a shot with that, by the way, with that bear in particular. Yeah, that will be like forever etched in my brain, by like I can't unsee this way. This is like the stuff on nightmares, right? And it works. This weird, strange, bizarre way, it works, right?
Yeah.
And I would say, just before I get to rating, it's in part due not just the direction, but to the strong development of this village, of the culture, the runes, the set design, which I would say the production design is Oscar worthy in my opinion.
Oh no,
This should get an Oscar nomination for production design alone, if not for sound design or mixing or whatnot, or editing. Production design in this way, perfect in my opinion. You really do feel like this is some kind of archaic kind of, I don't say medieval, but I don't like druid in a way. I think that you would have taken about druid.
Pagan. I forget the actual terms because I don't know anything about that whole culture. Just kind of lost.
Yeah. But to me, this movie works too. And just to jump to rating one time, I did not expect to enjoy this film so much. I went in with high expectations, but I just had them know, like, all right, let me just see how the show works, right? I let it flow over me. It freaked me out when it was supposed to freak me out. It make me laugh when I was supposed to laugh. Then in the end, I was just like shaking my head, like, I think I see one of the best movies of the year, boy. I really think I did.
I really enjoyed it.
This is one of the best movies of the year. And I would say this is not going to be a film for everyone. If you're expecting your traditional Annabelle-esque scares, you're not going to get that. Not just because it's not supernatural, but also this is a different type of horror. This is your slow burn kind of horror. This is the folk horror kind of thing, where yeah, it's just about this different culture, but there's some dark stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? Some really dark, messed up stuff. And the reason behind it too is just all the more ironic. It involves a certain character. I'm not gonna say who that character is, but what it's just the excuse surrounding is like, oh well, yeah, this is why we do these things because of this person. And when you think about it, it's like, yeah, all the shit to do.
That,
But all
right. That,
but that is
no,
so true
that
of
I
a cult in
thought
a way.
they should have done more with.
Yeah,
I
I
know
agree. They should have explored that a little bit more, but
a
it's
little bit
so
more,
true
yeah.
of a cult though, where it's just like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, it's all about like this sort of self gratification in a way. Like we doing this, it's like externally, it's about it's about nature or whatnot. But internally, it's just like you want to just get all your rocks off and just do weird shit because or you could get away with it and blame it or that's the culture. Don't be blah blah blah, right? But I think I talked long enough about this. Yeah, this is one of the best movies of the year. This is one of my favorite. This is right now my favorite horror movie of 2019, bar none. Is it
Right.
better than Hereditary? Is it scarier than Hereditary? No, but it's two different films in my opinion. But I would say it's
comparison.
just as great.
But the comparison really works like it's like what Us is to Get Out in my head.
I agree. Yeah. It's two different films, but they feel similar. It's similar but different.
Thematic. It's not about the logic so much or the actual narrative, or it's not about that, but it's just about what's going on and the vagaries, and it have no twist to speak of. Like don't fight down that, or it had a surprise level. And I gotta straight up say that fighting on the twisting and anything like that's Philistine talk. Just
don't
think about what
waste your time doing that with this movie. Don't even
exactly. That's why I just think about it. Just don't fight down that aspect to it. Just take it in for this and then go through.
Yeah, just take it in. Let just be immersed into it. And trust me, this movie will suck you in. Like from the first shot to the end to like I said, seeing the 8 to 4 logo at the very end. I was just sucked into this movie where at the end of it I was just like, I don't know what to make of myself. Like I said, it took me a while to leave the cinema. I just watching credits roll, you know what I mean? But yeah, for me, this is one of the best movies of 2019, bar none. This gets a light 4.5 out of 5 for me. This is a definite must-see, but just seeing once again, if you're expecting a traditional horror, you will be very disappointed by this. But if you want something that you will be thinking about for like days and hell, months and years to come, boy, yeah, be brave and step into the mad, insane world of Midsommar. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, the man 2 for 2 for me, solid business.
Yeah, 2 for 2, boy. Ari's the truth, man. Because of that, I'm actually gonna rewatch Hereditary. Okay, the first time I saw it, it freaked the daylights out of me. And I thought it was a little too much for me, but I really need to watch it again and just dig deep into the story.
I don't know. I think because people hype it too much, I wasn't thinking. But I should have gone in a lot blinder now. Like with this.
All right. Well, I went in blind to Hereditary. That's why it was messed up.
People hype it up in my head too much, and then when I see it, it's like, oh well, okay, it's fine, it's good. Yeah. And I think because it when the narrative itself was so ultimately straightforward, and you know what's going down, it's like, oh, okay, well, all right, fine.
Yeah. So, what's your rating for Midsommar?
I give it. I'll give it a very, very high movie tone.
Nice.
Very, very high movie tone. Mostly because it was a little aimless coming down to the third act. I thought they would have addressed a couple things a little better. But and ultimately that didn't really matter for what you're trying to focus on and do. So it's fine. Everything else worked fine. Again, where it really shines, and I give it like the super high IMAX score is composition, blocking, editing. Them is the thing that you had to keep focusing on, and the story itself, in terms of what the narrative itself, didn't really gel together as much as I would like it to, but it's fine. It's perfectly fine. So just balance out to that very high movie tone.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.